bad movies, bad life advice, and even worse life decisions. We cover it all here on the Life with Kenny podcast. I'm your host, Kenny. Grab a beer, sit back, and relax for this week's episode, because things are about to get weird.
What's an all-American girl like you doing with a geek like this?
Forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza.
Fuck me gently with a chainsaw.
Jimmy was off the hook. I know you really don't listen to Slipknot.
Does your Rhino?
You are listening to a Life with Kenny podcast.
Not quite my tempo. It's all good. No worries. Here we go.
Hey, welcome to this week's edition of the Life with Kenny podcast. We are doing podcast number 9, I think, of the Life Legends podcast series. This week we have a special guest, Kyle's wife, my sister-in-law, and I think still listener. Not sure after Hereditary, but Victoria Tori is here.
Hello.
Hi.
That was unbelievably loud. You were talking at a normal volume.
I'm also joined by my regular co-hosts, Kyle.
Hi.
And Patrick.
What?
And it is Kyle's birthday today.
Yeah, man, he old as fuck.
Happy birthday, man. We surprised, or tried to surprise Kyle with a lovely cake.
Yeah,
Except Patrick came running out as fucking quick as he could.
Yeah. Kenny fucking piled the candles up right next to each other, so I lit a small fire in the corner of his house.
That's how you get somebody moving, is you light a fire beneath them, right?
I wasn't on top of the cake. No one's going to eat it if I'm dangling over it. Well, apart from Kyle, he might give it a sniff.
So Life Legends, if you're not familiar with the podcast, is the weekly podcast series that we have where we discuss, pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Personal stories, funny internet things that we find, conspiracies. And this week we have Victoria here to help me talk about the Black Dahlia Murder, which I am rusty with. So we'll dive into that in a little bit. But yeah. For now, I guess Kyle and Patrick said that they would start us off with a game. I'm excited for this because
You want us to start?
Well, yeah, I've
not?
done every game so far for the podcast, and I've been kind of mentioning and hinting that I wanted you guys to come up with something. So I'm a bit excited for this.
Yeah. So, yeah, this morning I was like, maybe I should come up with a game for the podcast because I was like, we need to fill some time. And Tori's like, why don't you do like a 2 truths and a lie and about yourself for like your birthday. And I was like, okay, I could do that. And I sat there, I was taking a shit, and I was thinking like, trying to think of
Don't
some.
know if that was
some
necessary
truth.
information.
Hey man, I do my best thinking there.
In the back of vans.
Yeah. And I was like, I was trying to think of like some truths that maybe Tori wouldn't know, so it made it a little bit easier. And the only thing that I came up with was like, I've owned 7 cars and 8 trucks.
That's very creative of you.
Yeah, and then I was like, fuck that idea. So now we're not doing anything about me because I'm not that conceited.
I was going to say, it's also probably kind of difficult to come up with something about you that I probably wouldn't know a
and
little bit
Patrick
about.
wouldn't know anything about.
All right.
Right.
So I could do one, I guess. Okay. I once shit myself when I was really drunk. I had a crush on my 5th grade teacher, and I once ran a dog over with my bike by accident.
Right, so this is 2 truths, 1 lie?
Yep.
The dog's a lie.
I'd say the teacher one's a lie.
I'd say shit your pants.
Kenny's right.
Yeah.
Of
You said that
course.
last though.
I was a horny 5th grader.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I figured he'd start off with the truths because it's
Yeah.
on the spot, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it's easier to think of the lie last than try to do it in the middle.
I
so.
was fucked that one time. Ooh, boy, I was drunk.
But
Did you tell that story?
No, I don't think so.
Do you want to share? I think every podcast we pretty much need to have a shit story when it comes to Life Legends.
Well, yeah. All right, go on then. I don't really know what happened because I had a pretty good buzz rolling, right? I was feeling pretty good. I crushed a couple beers. I crushed like a whole bottle of Southern Comfort and lime, which is like way less percentage than just Southern Comfort on its own. So I was...
Southern Comfort?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Really?
Is
Are
it
you
beer?
Sure, why not? No, it's liquor. It's like Don't really know.
Like vodka or...
No, it's like kind of like Captain Morgan,
Okay.
but not rum, but the same color.
Like,
That's as much as I can describe it.
So whiskey.
Yeah, I think it's
you know
like
what? I'm going to Google
a
this.
sweet.
I think it's a bourbon, isn't it?
Something like
See,
that.
I was gonna
yeah.
say bourbon because Southern.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm pretty sure it's a bourbon, but
It's really good anyway, regardless. So I crushed that, and then we went out. I was feeling pretty good. I went outside to get some air, went back in.
American whiskey flavored liquor with fruits and spices.
Yeah, it's buzzing with lemonade, trust me. Keeps the buzz going nice
Right on.
and smooth all night. And then I went back into the bar and had a sip of the drink that I'd left down. And then started feeling real sketchy. And like my body temperature started going through the fucking roof. And I was very confused. So I went outside.
like, were you just starting to get like the liquor sweats, or like
I have no idea.
Was it
'Cause
the poop sweats? Like,
For me, it was weird that it hit me all at once. But like at this point, my brain was fine. I wasn't sat there like, ooh. I was like, whoa, something's not right here, mate. Let's go get some food. Naturally. So
Yeah.
I walk out and I start stumbling towards this fucking takeout place, and I walk in, mate. He's like, "You all right, mate? How's it going?" I went in there a lot when I was younger, and he used to know sort of what I'd be after.
like this is the guy that comes in here to shit every fucking week.
No, I never shit there. I did something a little bit worse in there.
You had a wank or what?
So I ordered my food. For whatever reason, I thought I could smash a 14-inch pizza and some fries. Seemed like the sensible decision at the time. So he was cooking away, and I was sat there like, fuck me, I don't feel good at all. So I went and sat outside to get some air, and I just started vomiting profusely, literally everywhere.
Like that kid we saw driving home.
Yeah, man. There was a
we were-
kid fucking outside of his car, and his mum was just rubbing his back. Fucking hell. And he was
fucking
just
puking.
chundering.
We should have seen Patrick's face light up. It was almost like hearing Kyle tell that shit story. He just like lit up
was
like Christmas
beautiful.
Day and was like, "Did you see that kid?"
And neither of you whipped your phone out?
Oh, we were past it. I was having some driving battles with a dickhead.
Oh man,
Right
I
before that,
fucking
so-
wanted to murder that silly prick.
But
That's
yeah,
why I
so-
carry a knife.
Yeah, obviously.
to stab puking children or what?
Where was I? Yeah, so I ordered my food
Sorry.
and then started vomiting outside. And I remember falling asleep because I just couldn't open my eyes. If I opened my eyes, stuff started spinning, and I was like, "Nah, fuck that."
Is
So
this like the middle of the day too?
No, this is like maybe 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, right on.
So I'm fucking sat there asleep, and these 2 policemen come up and they're like, "You all right, mate?" And I look up, covered in my own sick. I just say, "Yeah, I just need a couple minutes, if that's all right." And they were like, "Yeah, all right." And they walked off. They didn't seem to fucking care. So I ended up getting a taxi home, and I fucking got into my house and like fell asleep on the toilet. But what had happened was I'd started a little bit too early, and a little nug had just dropped out onto the floor. So I woke up and I was like, "Oh no!"
It's like that kid in that supermarket where it just like drops it out his pant
Just
leg.
flicks it out his leg. Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah,
So,
I
that was.
I
That was
just
a
shit
rough
my
time.
pants for the first time a couple weeks ago too.
Oh yeah.
In my adult life.
Tori's just nodding with like a smile on her
man.
face.
I was fucking sick, and I had the shits like
Oh,
real
yeah,
bad.
you were
I,
feeling rough,
I was
huh?
on the toilet like fucking probably 4 hours of the day total, and then I was laying in bed and I was cuddled in, fucking trying to stay warm. Had a fever, and my dog, when I'm sick, it's like she can tell. She like lay on my chest, try and like make me feel better, I think, and. All of a sudden I had to shit and a little fart came out and I was like holding it. I was like, "Cass, get off. And she wouldn't get off. And
Keep in mind a
and
dog
just
weighs less than 10 pounds.
but when she's on you, she will not get off. Like you push her
Move
off
her
and she right back
easily.
on.
Wow.
Yeah,
yeah,
you
so,
could throw her if you
Yeah.
needed to.
So yeah, a little bit came out and it was watery and it wasn't good. And I
That's
threw
the
my
worst,
underpants
man.
out and then had a shower.
Yeah, gotta just clean that bumhole.
I feel like you just got to the point where you're like, I'm defeated. I'm not even going to attempt to get up. I'm just going to clean it later.
You know,
you
at
probably
work,
could have made it work.
like all the guys I work with, they always tell me stories about like, in their adult lives when they got so fucked up they shit themselves or whatever, right? And it's like, I was like, I've never had that experience. And then
you keep working, like, guys, guess what?
Yeah, exactly. I shit myself because I was sick, and I was like, you know what? I really don't want the drunk shit yourself
finally join that exclusive shit myself club. Yeah, man, that's rough going. Nothing more humiliating than pooing yourself as an adult. Because you look at kids that like shit themselves in public, and you can't be like, that's gross. You got to be like, well, I'm right there with you, bud. we've all been there. Just got to move past it. Soldier on.
As you get older too, it's like you can't trust farts anymore sometimes.
Yeah, well,
is that going to be a bad one?
I've had many an experience where you have to kind of punt for the fart because you have a poo.
Yeah, you got to push
and
it.
You've got
quick.
you've got to kind of twist and catch the fart and then create like a small space for it to squeeze out. But then it comes out and it's like just super high pitched because there's no gap. It's brutal. Yeah, anyway, you had a game.
Right, yeah, a game. Speaking of shit, this might be shit.
Oh, okay.
It's like, guess how many times I've shit my pants.
All right, so yeah, I couldn't think of things to be conceited about on my birthday, so I just thought of I'd do a Would You Rather, but we're going to do Canadian edition.
Oh, yeah.
Most of these are off the internet. I just Googled them and adapted them a little bit. Or I think there might be like 2 that I made up from looking at ideas. You not being like full-on Canadian, I don't know how
let's keep that between us. No one else needs to know about that, especially not immigration.
You're not one of us, no matter how fucking hard you try.
There's one on here that I'm going to ask specifically to you first, and you're going to be like, who the fuck is that?
All right, go on.
All right. All right, so how should we do this, Kenny? Just ask everyone and everyone answer?
Yeah, but we'll always let's ask everyone, but we'll get Patrick to answer first every time. Because I feel like
you're gonna pick on him.
No, I just feel like there's more opportunity for him to actually like have to come up with a better answer based off of just what little things he knows.
He's good at asking questions too.
Go on.
All right. So, would you rather Canadian edition? Would you rather wear shorts all winter or have your shoes wet all winter?
Either way, you'd die. You'd either lose your feet or your legs.
This one's easy for me. This is an easy answer.
I would probably go for wet shoes.
Wet shoes?
Yeah, no, you're wrong on that one. It's the shorts. I'd be shorts all the way.
Me too, shorts.
Yeah.
When your feet are wet and cold.
Do any of you 3 walk to work?
I have in the past. Actually,
Do you walk to work?
I used to wait. I used to
Not
wait
in the past.
I used to wait at the bus stop pretty much every winter wearing shorts.
Fair. But now this is at the point of your life where all of a sudden you can only wear shorts in the winter.
It's easier to warm up cold, dry legs than it is wet, cold feet.
I think both would be miserable, but like as a kid in the snow here, like when your boots got wet in first recess and you had to put them back on wet in second recess and it's minus 30, your feet get hella cold. But
you
I
gotta
also
think,
never
though.
worn shorts in the middle of winter.
You got to think about it this way too. It's all winter, so your feet are going to be wet even if you're inside your nice, cozy, warm house.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. So even if I have no shoes on, my feet are still drenched. So my feet just automatically produce water.
Well, no. Okay, sorry. I guess I'm saying at work you would have your wet shoes on.
Well, I know I
at
could take
home-
them off. I could go barefoot.
Well, you have an office, yeah.
But it's no difference from wearing shorts, though. You can wear a blanket at home too. You could do whatever the fuck you want to warm up. You could
Can't
sit in a
walk
bathtub.
around wearing a blanket. You look like a fucking madman.
Why not?
You still could. I mean, if the only thing you owned was a pair of shorts.
The only thing that puts me off of wearing shorts is just that fucking feeling, that sharp ass wind chill on your face is the worst. I can't imagine feeling that.
Well, you might get used to it, right?
Question: how short are the shorts?
Wow, what you're wearing now?
Because, like, are we talking like?
Oh, that
down
would
there?
be horrible.
Or are we talking like right up in the giblets?
They're longer than your underwear.
Shorts. Normal shorts.
How much longer? Because I am
Just
varying
what you're wearing
sizes.
now, which is just above the knee.
Can I run everywhere?
Yeah, I don't care. It's your life. The only stipulation is that you're wearing shorts. Or you have wet shoes.
Nah, shorts, yeah.
I'd say another thing too is like your like heat escapes through your head and your feet and your hands. So that's why in winter, like if you go sledding or something, you'll double up on socks and shit like that sometimes. And you could actually like go. Me and Kyle used to do it all the time. We'd go sledding for like 6 hours straight with just a pair of jeans on. But you need like 4 pairs of socks and boots because if your feet get wet, it's just going to be a fucking miserable experience.
Fair.
Because
if your shoes are wet though, like you could put fucking garbage bags over your socks and then wear your shoes.
Yeah, but I guess
doesn't matter.
So is it just
cold?
No. So you need to clarify. Is it just my shoes that are
Just
wet?
your shoes are wet. Yeah, you can wear 18 pairs of socks and have fucking size
Okay, so
15
could
shoes.
I design a sock that was like a shoe?
Yeah, you go for it.
So
But
then
your
I could
shoes
just
are
wear my
fucking
sock
soaked, though.
shoe.
Yeah.
But you could also design some shorts.
That are really long.
Well, no, you see
or
the
have
problem-
heating pads in them.
Yeah. Well, what came first, pants or shorts?
Probably pants, I'd assume.
I don't know, because a loincloth came first, right?
Oh, just added some inches.
Yeah. If only. If only.
I was gonna say, what would you rather?
I would
take
think
away inches.
I would think the pants came first, and then some asshole was just like, "Man, these pants are too hot," and then cut them down and was like, "Short."
Nah, see, I don't believe that.
That's what it looks
we're
like
saying
you did.
we had a loincloth, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we don't know we had loincloths, but I imagine that's because everyone just had their cock out otherwise, right?
Yeah.
Not that everyone had a cock, obviously. I imagine there were probably at least 1 or 2 females
Assuming.
to therefore produce the rest of the human race.
With leaves over their crotch.
Yeah, right? As per religious beliefs would have you believe. But yeah, no, I feel like shorts must have come... Right, so imagine this. You're a caveman, yeah? You're in Neanderthal, and fucking it's just you and Clive chilling near the fire.
Clive,
and
what a
then
name.
fucking Steve rolls around the corner in slacks.
Yeah.
Just a full-on pair of fucking khakis.
I'd be thinking, fucking Steve's an idiot.
Right.
Look at this doofus.
What's he fucking wearing? Get your dick out, Steve.
But if he's got shorts on, you're like, fuck, man. Steve's pretty cool.
Yeah,
what a cool
right?
guy.
Steve's got some good legs.
So the real question is, did the idiot or the cool guy come first?
Clive or Steve.
Yeah. Well, no, Clive's just by the fire with you.
All right,
Clive's
so
fucking
keeping me
useless.
warm.
So everyone picks shorts. Is what
Yeah,
we're getting at.
yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Patrick said shoes, right? Or what feet?
No, I've
changed
changed
it.
my mind.
changed
Yeah,
it.
as per the follow-up questions.
All right.
All right. So I don't have a whole bunch of these.
See,
but-
that's kind of why I like having you go first because I feel like me and Tori have both experienced the wet shoes in the winter a lot more than you have.
Well, I've
already.
experienced wet shoes before. I've never not been near
But
water
in
with shoes
winter,
on.
in winter, I mean,
It's not, in
Like-
England, if you see water, fucking take your shoes off.
that's how it should
now.
be. That's how it should be. Anyways,
All right,
next question.
Right, go.
All right, next one here. Would you rather have burnt Tim's coffee every morning or have pumpkin spice on everything you eat?
What form does the pumpkin spice come in?
Just like powder, like pumpkin spice.
Do I get to choose
Powder.
how much I put on?
It's enough that it masks every other flavor. So you're just tasting pumpkin spice spaghetti.
That might be all right.
This is an easy one.
Some people like pumpkin spice, some don't. I fucking
What
hate it.
size is the pumpkin? Not the pumpkin spice. The Tim's coffee.
Like a large coffee, like any way you like it. It could be French vanilla, it could be double, whatever. But the coffee's fucking burnt, which I'm sure you've had burnt Tim's coffee.
Tim's coffee tastes like garbage, regardless.
Not unless if you get like some fresh coffee.
Could I have
from
an
there.
iced burnt coffee?
Yeah.
Only if it's pumpkin spice flavored.
Well, then I choose the coffee. Obviously, yeah. It's one thing in the morning versus everything else during the day.
Yeah, I'd go the same way because, like, imagine if you wanted a pizza, you'd have to have pumpkin spice on it. But the coffee, you get the burnt coffee, you don't have to drink it.
See, no, what would be fun
Just opt
is
out
if
of the coffee.
for some reason everyone else on the planet knows that they have to put pumpkin spice on your food. Doesn't matter what country you're in.
You're going to restaurants you've never been
Yeah.
to, and it comes out. You're like, "Fuck, god damn it!"
You go to fucking Pakistan for a holiday, and there's some little Indian
It's
guy
like-
looking at his board like pumpkin
It's like
spice.
it's like
He's
that-
on there.
Can I see your ID?
It's like it's
Patrick. Oh, right. Yeah, pumpkin spice. Oh, I'm going to extra load this up. This guy thought he had me.
Could be in fucking Thailand in like the darkest corner of Colombia, and someone just runs over with a bucket of pumpkin spice.
You go in back alley, you get like a fucking bag of cocaine, and it's just filled with pumpkin spice.
Yeah. So like even if you eat chewing gum, someone's throwing pumpkin spice at you while you're trying to put it in.
You like pop a piece in your hand, and it's just someone's fucking reach over pumpkin spice powder.
Okay, so this is kind of a vulgar question, but so oral sex is sometimes referred to as eating.
Yeah.
Would that count as having pumpkin spice?
Oh yeah,
because like obviously you wouldn't be doing this yourself, and I'm assuming the partner would also not want to be pouring pumpkin spice anywhere. So there would just be a third party in the room with a little tub of pumpkin spice, just sprinkling it on during the whole process.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah, definitely the coffee.
Aside from that last tangent, this reminded me of the Don't Feed Phil Day from Viva La Bam.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that show?
I have not.
So Bam's dad, Phil, they had this thing where they tried putting him on a diet. So what they did was they went everywhere in the city and they handed out flyers that said, "Don't give this guy any food." They're trying to make him lose weight.
They like even went as far as going like the next 2 towns over.
Yeah, they had like planes flying.
Christ.
They had like billboards put up, right? So the guy, he's looking around his house. He has snacks hidden everywhere, like to the point where he even had a bottle of mustard in his desk that he was going to start squirting in his mouth because he was just like a hungry fat dude, right?
And they had like two guys follow him around all day.
And the thing is those guys were just eating like big greasy slices of pizza next to him, and he couldn't have any of it. And they'd go to like random restaurants trying to get stuff. They won't feed him. Nobody will feed him. Everywhere he goes, he even goes in, like he orders for pickup or delivery, and they're like, "Yeah, we know this number, we know this address. We're not delivering to you."
Didn't he go to like a pet food store and they even told him no?
I don't know about that, but I know eventually he got his brother to order the pizza, and they ordered the pizza. And the thing was like his brother's also fat, and his brother ended up eating the whole pizza himself and being like, "Oh, I'm totally sorry." And the other guy was like, "Yeah, man, it's good times." But yeah, I just pictured.
All right, so Patrick, you got what? Burnt coffee or pumpkin spice everything?
Burnt coffee, obviously. Yeah.
Kenny?
Burn coffee easily
Burnt coffee.
Burnt coffee.
because you don't have to drink it. You
do.
get it,
No, you have to
but you
consume
don't
it.
have to drink it.
If you don't consume it, what's the consequence if you don't consume it? I feel like this is something we
Pumpkin
always
spice
miss.
everything.
Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, it'll probably help keep you regular, if anything. So
I feel like you'd get used to it anyways. If
Yeah.
you're drinking it every morning.
Yeah.
It's just like that's one of the worst things ever. It's like you go to Tim's, you
It
order
really is to Kyle.
you order your coffee, and like you don't drink it right away. Otherwise, you could just go right in the store and just be like, "It's burnt. I want a new one." You drive all the way to work. You get there. You get all settled in. You take your sip, and you're like, "Wow, I guess I'm not drinking coffee today."
Man, Tim's really hurt you, huh?
Oh fuck! You
lot
don't
of
even
time.
know, man. I order bacon.
Whoa,
I order
whoa.
a bacon sandwich, and
I
they
am
give me
not
sausage.
Timothy Horton.
Fucking ruins my week. Happened 2 times in 1 week, and I lost my shit.
Kyle, show us on the double where they touched you.
All right, so yeah, burnt coffee is for the win. All right, next
the loss.
question. Would you rather have the temperature stuck at minus 35 degrees Celsius or only get 1 hour of sunshine a day?
Easy.
1 hour of sunshine a day.
Easy.
That's all I got in England.
Yeah. Minus 35 fucking
True.
sucks, though. What's yours, Ken?
My favorite time of year is winter when you only get like 8 hours of sunlight. It's fucking awesome
How-
because you can go to bed anytime. You can sleep in. It's fucking awesome. But if the sun's up at 5 a.m., I'm fucking miserable. I can't sleep in. Sunshine doesn't do to me what it does for everybody else. So yeah, easily.
How are you
that
getting the
kills me,
temperature to
man.
minus 35 indoors?
Well, I'm not saying indoors. I'm just saying outside, so you're stuck inside all the time.
Oh.
Because you wouldn't want to be out in minus
So
35.
the weather's constantly minus 35.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it usually is here, apart from these
It's
2
usually
months.
not that cold. We get like maybe a week or 2 that cold in winter.
You aren't making these as brutal.
Hey man, these are internet ones.
You should say that I'm in a house.
Yeah,
and
I don't
it's-
know, man. Minus 35 sucks because that's
Oh,
like
it
the
does
temperature
suck.
where your
Yeah.
car wouldn't even start.
This is just
no
would you
doubt.
rather shitty things that
but
we can relate to in Canada.
It would be worse if I was in my house and there was no windows or doors. And so the fucking breeze was just popping, and I was trying to watch fucking Netflix, shivering like a cunt.
Okay, I got
That's
one
what I
for you
fucking
guys.
feel like here.
I was gonna say, would you rather fucking record in the freezing cold basement or up in the burning hot upstairs?
Well, up here, because
Upstairs.
the aircon's getting to my sweaty back now, which is nice.
Well, you do have air conditioning, so.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, 1 hour or cold.
1 hour of sunlight, yeah.
And Kenny said that. What about you, Tor?
I'd be fine with -35.
Really?
Yeah.
Honestly, I would too. I like the sun. If I don't have sun in my life, I fucking get miserable.
Yeah.
You're fucking grouchy.
Yeah, but you still get an hour of it every day.
Yeah, but you could it could that could be 3 a.m.
So even
What
today,
if-
where it's cloudy as fuck,
It wouldn't
At
be
some
this,
point.
No, it would be dark. Like I'm talking like fucking
Nighttime.
just dark out.
Nighttime.
Oh.
Great.
Like the sun's
well, you
blocked
didn't
out.
make that very fucking clear, did you? I hope you never write
Man,
contracts.
you can
Just
enjoy
sign the new Apple agreement, and someone comes to take my left testicle. Kyle's like, "Well, you said."
Exactly.
but you can enjoy being outside when it's dark out. You can't when it's -35. You
I
really
dunno.
can't fucking do anything in that weather.
Yeah, but have you ever like been stuck like in just darkness all the time? Like there's guys like Dad, for example, in winter, when he leaves for work, it's pitch dark out.
Right.
He's inside a shop all day with no fucking windows, and then he goes outside after work and it's dark out.
You're talking to the guy who used to live in a basement where he blacked out his windows with garbage bags.
Yeah, but you're a different species. That's
That's
why
what I'm saying,
asking
is it's
3
easy.
different people here. We know your answer.
To be fair,
you
I'd
love
probably
being depressed.
black out the windows with garbage bags as well.
yeah.
What if someone walks past and just sees you trying to rampantly
When
bash
we lived
one
in a
out?
basement, we did too. It was creepy.
Yeah, it's just
because
weird,
you're ground
isn't it?
level, people
Yeah.
can look right in.
Yeah, but that's not a choice.
Like if I
right?
was a creepy homeless man, I'd always be having a look in there.
Me
Having
too.
a wank.
Yeah, just fucking boshing one out outside someone's basement.
All right, so you guys are both on the side of -35.
I mean, yeah, I guess so because
Or
it's
all
still
three of
sunny.
you, I guess.
Yeah, and you can bundle up. Like you can deal with -35. Yeah, it fucking sucks, but
I take kids to school like
And there's
every
fucking-
single day in -35 in the winter, and like it is uncomfortable, but you dress properly and you're fine.
But like, bro, there's streetlights.
I thought of that. I thought of that the
It's
other
not
day
that
too.
bad.
There's
Like,
nothing more relaxing than that nice orange hue.
No lie, like if it was nighttime all the time, I'd be like out there ripping on bikes. Like it would be fucking Gotham City. I would love that shit.
I got
Alright.
depressed once watching like an 8-hour stretch of like an English version of HGTV's House Hunters because it was so cloudy and dark the whole thing, and then I honestly started to feel so upset that I went outside. It was in the middle of summer in high school. And I was like, that is so depressing.
I've never heard of
Patrick's
the
life.
the English Virgin.
Oh yeah, you got that.
Apart
Thank
from-
you.
All right, I got another quick question.
Go on.
So Patrick, for you, growing up, I don't know like how clicky or whatever it was
Not
when you
very.
were in elementary
Not for
school.
me.
That's kind of the weird thing. So like when I was growing up, if you looked like a fucking doofus at school, you got made fun of it, and that
Oh,
was
yeah.
like whatever.
Yeah, I was massively bullied at school.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure everyone's had some
Yeah.
bullying experiences, but this is my question. So, I noticed this the other day that it's like, so I'd go to work now that I'm an adult, and like, I'm not afraid to wear big, giant, clunky fucking winter boots and a big ass like
Yeah.
dad jacket. You know what I mean? But when I was a kid, I was like, I was wearing a sweater, a skateboard sweater in fucking -35 because I needed to look cool. You know what I mean? Was it
man.
like that for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember once going out in a very small T-shirt that had the Mr. Men. You ever heard of those? It's like a
No.
cartoon in England. It's fucking
All right.
terrible. And my uncle said that real men don't feel cold. So I was like, yeah, I want real man.
Yeah, right.
And I fucking walked out and I was like, "Ooh, fuck."
I just always remember my mom being like, "Put your fucking jacket on."
Yeah,
and,
man.
and
The-
I'm
the
just like,
dedication to
yeah,
looking
and I
fresh.
take it off, or I put it on, but then like when I'm walking to school, I'll like fucking hide it in the backyard.
Yeah.
You know, because I
Yeah,
can't
man.
show up to school wearing a big giant warm
Yeah,
coat.
look like a fucking virgin.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So next on the list here.
Yeah, go for it.
All All right. Would you rather pay over $100 shipping on everything you order, or only get to shop in the mall on Boxing Day?
On everything you order, or is
Yeah.
it everything you order online?
So like even skip the dishes.
Yeah. Well,
Or yeah, definitely the mall. I order a lot.
yeah, not food, not food. So I'm saying like,
Can you still shop like in a normal shopping mall if you
no,
have to pay that
you
shipping?
can only so either you're ordering everything online, like most people are doing now.
So
because
like
fucking-
even like groceries and everything, you have to order online.
no, I'm saying like, if you're making an Amazon order where you get everything free shipping right now, if you had to
Right.
pay $100 on every fucking order you made from something online,
Easy, just go to Walmart, and get it there.
So is this the same as like the pumpkin spice man? There's like a man that doesn't let you into Walmart. Doesn't matter
No.
where you go. There's always that same guy saying "fuck off."
no, you can go to Walmart and stuff like that.
You can buy your stuff, but they have to ship it to you for $100 when you go to checkout.
Okay, I'm saying. So say you want to get some new. It's spring, and all you got is your winter clothes, and you want to get a couple new outfits like shirts and
Well,
shorts.
I'd be fine because my winter clothes already consist of shorts.
Wow.
And it's minus 35 every
I'm
day,
saying- I'm
so
saying-
you
I'm
don't really
saying-
need to get new clothes.
You gotta order some shit online.
You've created
Right?
this universe. Don't blame us.
Well, fuck me. These are just questions I found online.
Okay, so it's minus 35. I'm sat there in my shorts with my wet shoes and my burnt Tim's coffee.
The guy next to you is just fucking miserable because
Yeah.
everything's pumpkin spice for
Yeah,
him.
that is dark.
yeah, and
But just for him.
yeah, so it's minus 35, and you're sick of wearing fucking shorts, and you need a pair of pants, and it's Boxing Day. You can either go to the mall and try on fucking 14 pairs of pants until you find ones that you like.
What if you had
Or-
a guy who just like, you buy your pants and he just comes and clips the legs off right away?
Yeah, that's another thing we should have added into the shorts. If you ever try and buy pants, they always come.
You're just like, oh man, I just paid $100 shipping for this.
There's like a guy outside of your door like, oh, let's look at that. Thank you very much. Get rid of this. He always cuts them uneven as well. Brutal.
And then you have to roll them up so they look even and they're shorter.
yeah.
So I feel like the answer to your question depends on how your preferred method of shopping is right now.
So
like if it's
Kenny,
Amazon.
yeah, for
then-
you buy a lot of shit on Amazon, like all these mics and recording shit. If you had to pay, how many orders did you make on Amazon for all this shit? Probably close to a dozen.
4.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's $400 extra you would have had to pay.
Right, but if I'm paying $100 to get a fucking $30 mic shipped to me, I wouldn't do it. I'd just go to a store and get one there.
That's
but
what
you
I'm
can't
saying.
because
The only
there's a
reason I'm
guy.
shopping from Amazon is the incentive that I get the free shipping.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
what I'm
but
saying.
what he's saying is you can't do any shopping at any point during the year other than Boxing Day.
Yeah.
So you would have had to wait all year until Boxing Day to go get stuff.
So
Except for,
so
like,
you
necessities.
yeah.
Man, I
so
wouldn't
you
have
needed
fucking...
no
No
you,
food.
Necessities.
you
You,
can get food stuff like that.
no,
but
you
it-
cannot. No,
Okay.
no, I refuse.
Okay, this is Patrick's question now.
Yeah, you buy everything you need for that year on Boxing Day.
Oh,
you
man.
fucking save
And
up
you're
all
waiting,
year.
and so it's not only you're waiting fucking 6 hours in
So-
line to get something, you're also waiting 364 days to get what you
Plus
need.
the 7 hours it takes them to scan the 3,000
So
cans of beans
your
that you've just bought.
your list, you only get a quarter of it done because you're waiting in line for forever.
I think it would be the $100 shipping then, because you could order everything that you possibly need.
Yeah, you could just do one
and just
order
pay
a
the
month.
flat
Yeah.
rate of $100.
Yeah.
But
It all
'Cause
depends.
I-
But it's
could-
like
could
so
you
you
imagine-
forget something, right?
No, because this
then you wait till the next month.
Yeah, but this could benefit you because say if you bought a whole bunch of stuff from different places, sometimes the shipping might be more than $100. Mm-hmm. So if you just get a flat rate of $100, beautiful.
No, it's it would be $100 from like every place you'd order.
Right, but
Every
if
time
it's-
you make an order online,
right, but if it's
$100
like
shipping.
if it's from Amazon, you could order like 1,000 items, and normally they'd be like, "That's way too many items." But instead,
it's
like, fuck
actually
it,
it's actually pay over $100 shipping, so it could be more.
Yeah.
That's like the minimum.
I mean, if you have to, you have to. If that's literally the only way you can shop.
So if you order something that,
Because I don't think you could survive if you can only get food and everything once a year.
They sell beans, for the record.
Okay, so you get a can of beans, it's $100, but
it's an add-on item, so you have to get something else as well.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Okay, but you get 600 cans of beans because you're thinking, fuck, I'm going to be smart and order everything at once, and then your shipping comes out to $1,600 because of the weight.
They were like 600 cans of beans. This guy's gonna shit his pants pretty soon here.
I'll be doing that anyway. Or, well, to be fair though, I'd probably have quite a lot of money because I'm not buying anything because I can't. Because
No,
fucking
you're still
every time I try
buying
and leave
shit.
my apartment in my minus 35 shorts, fucking Keith is stood there outside Walmart.
I'm saying nothing changes. You're still buying the same amount of shit. You're still every time you're going to the store in life now, you're just ordering it online.
So what about gas?
I'm not saying gas or food, things like that.
No,
I'm saying
I am,
material.
So like, would I have to stock up on gas, or would I have to get gas? Can you get gas delivered?
No, but every time you're going to the store, they're charging you $100 for delivering it to the store.
Fair.
There
Yeah,
you go.
I reckon I could do the Boxing Day one, you know? I reckon I could stock up for the whole fucking year.
Yeah, but you're not stocking up because you're fucking spending 12 hours of that day waiting in line.
No, I'll walk in with a gun.
Well, so Boxing Day though.
Everyone out! You're walking into the mall and turning off the fire alarms, and
I've
you're
waited
just
all
fucking
fucking
taking what
year
you
for
want.
this. But everybody out.
But
Everyone knows you as the guy that has to wait a year, and they're like, yeah, you go ahead.
Some poor guy wakes up a little bit late that day. He's like, oh, fuck, he's going to be here soon.
But shopping on Boxing Day could also include Amazon though too, right? So you could just order it all on Amazon.
No,
one
it says
day.
at a mall. Boxing Day at a mall.
Yeah.
I don't know if I know any malls that have like groceries and shit.
Shoppers.
I'm not
Excuse
saying...
Just living off fucking potato chips.
Get chips and
That's
dip.
all you got.
Well,
and expired
Walmart
milk.
used to be connected
like
to the
all
mall.
your dairy and fruit and veggies
Yeah.
will be expired right away.
No, there is a Safeway connected to that old people's mall with the little golf inside.
But that's the thing though, is if
True.
you can only shop once a year, you won't have anything fresh. You won't have produce. You won't
Yeah,
have
I'm not-
milk.
I'm
you
not
won't-
saying-
Did you not see those beans?
Yeah, the 6-month expiration date, buddy.
So there you go. It's even harder. Now you have to find stuff that lasts over a year.
Yeah, anything canned lasts for
Exactly.
fucking years.
All right, so what are your guys' answers? Let's get this over with.
Boxing Day.
Kenny?
Probably Amazon.
Amazon.
No? You guys paying the shipping?
Absolutely, you are.
Oh, yeah. All right. So this is the one that I didn't know if Patrick would know who it is. But this one is, would you rather babysit Caillou or work at McDonald's cleaning the deep fryer? Do you have any idea who Caillou is?
I'm a Google. How'd you spell it?
Oh, it's a hard one.
Cailou.
L-L-O-U.
I'm pretty sure. Is it one L? Caillou.
Oh yeah, this kid looks like a little prick.
He
Yeah.
is a
You are
fucking
not
prick.
wrong.
One of it's legendary for being one of the most annoying kids
Like
shows
most
ever made.
like annoying, whiny, fucking bratty kid. But it teaches you good lessons.
Could I kill him?
No.
No, you're babysitting them. You're in charge of fucking keeping them alive.
What? Oh wait, the only
Did
the other
you even-
option's cleaning McDonald's fryers.
Your job is to work at McDonald's cleaning deep fryers.
What's the pay?
Yeah, is
minimum
it the
wage.
same wage for both
yeah,
jobs?
yeah, they're both minimum wage.
I'd babysit Caillou. I'd just lock
Well-
him in a closet.
So could I? No, technically I could kill him and hide him and get away with it.
And you're not going
and
to
then
get
go
paid.
to your job at McDonald's.
Yeah, I can't be babysitting. I got fryers to clean.
You're like, fuck this $12 an hour. You murder the kid, and then the parents come home. You're like,
The only place that'll hire
Well,
a
No,
murderer
to be
is
fair, if
McDonald's.
he's an annoying little shit, I could probably make a plan with the parents to kill him.
True.
So like, look, you guys give me a couple of grand, I'll murder the kid. I'll be on my way.
But he's only annoying when, like, for not the parents, like for anyone babysitting him.
Have
I'll
you watched
record
the
him.
show?
Yeah, I have. He's always fucking annoying.
Yeah, I'd probably kill Caillou. Wait, no, that
Babysit him. We're not talking about killing him.
Yeah, Caillou's dead.
yeah, he gone. He gone.
He conveniently fell in the
This
McDonald's
just turns
deep
in
fryer.
from like making sure that he stays alive by babysitting him
Yeah.
to fucking killing him.
I like to feel like there's a universe somewhere where that like actually happens in real life. One of us works at McDonald's, the other one kills Caillou, and then the next day the other person finds Caillou in the fucking fryer. They're like, "God damn it, Kyle! Come on."
I guess we're making chicken nuggets today.
Every day there's just a new body in there for you to clean out.
It was just the one kid. You don't have to kill all these people.
What do we do with this? Grind them up and throw them with the batch of chicken dicks. We're making nuggets later. Like,
Do love a good
Jesus.
nug.
All right, so babysit or McDonald's?
How do I have to babysit him every day?
Yeah, it's your fucking job.
What about weekends?
When the parents need to go get groceries.
they don't have to. They're buying them off Amazon.
Yeah.
Just
How
so
old
defeat-
is this kid?
Like 4.
No one knows. I think he's like, yeah, like, I don't think he's in school, is he?
He goes to preschool.
Yeah, so 5.
Do I have easy access to Xanax?
Sure.
I'm
Then
gonna
babysit Caillou.
I'm gonna show you right now. I'm gonna.
I just felt that.
Yep. Pop a couple. There you go, kid.
Here you go, Patrick. This will be an easy decision for you. After I show you this, if it plays.
Dirty mommy, and I'm going to help Rosie wash her hands.
This is some weird porn, dude.
Weird for you.
Can you put your pants back down? Fuck.
What? I don't. Well, the parents are home. Oh, there's an ad. That's fucking
great.
brilliant.
Great.
Of course.
But that's Caillou, literally like the most
All
annoying
I saw
child.
was him washing his hands. That was harmless. And the dad was there. Why am I babysitting? The fuck are the parents doing?
Working at McDonald's.
Yeah. Anyways, Caillou's an annoying
They gotta
fucking
make
kid.
minimum wage to pay you.
Probably the fryer, because I don't think I could
Clean the
babysit.
fryer.
Yeah.
All right, Kenny?
I'd probably do McDonald's because you can still get McDonald's while you're there.
Yeah, after you clean that deep fryer, you're not going to want fucking McDonald's, man.
See, I've heard that, but I'd probably
All right,
still eat it.
Tori?
I'd babysit Caillou.
Yeah, you're good at babysitting.
I feel like I could straighten him out.
By murdering him.
All right. The next one. Would you rather eat goose poop once or eat watered down craft dinner for a year?
Easy.
Goose poop once.
Craft dinner.
Craft dinner. Yeah, you have a poop thing. I don't.
No, I don't have a poop thing. What? You have to eat that for a year.
I feel like that could be a poll. You have a poop thing.
Every day you have to eat.
100%. Have you seen a slimy goose shit?
Yeah, you could just glass of water. Be like an oyster.
You could also just eat macaroni a little watered down. And really
thing.
just nothing.
No, yeah, but
That's a horrific memory.
no, I don't think you understand that you have to do that for a year.
Yeah, but you don't have to eat it.
Is it for every meal?
For this sake, we'll say no.
Well, I'm going to say it's for every meal.
Because you have a poop thing.
No.
You want an excuse to eat goose
You're
shit.
like, you do have a poop thing. I was like, Patrick, we should watch Citizen Kane, widely known as the greatest movie ever made. And you're like, I would rather
Right, no, I'm
eat
just
a
saying.
pebble-sized turd.
No, it was like a clump of poo.
Yeah, because that's better.
The clump of poo that you left in front of the toilet when you were too drunk.
That's
And you don't even know if it was yours.
That's a good thing. That's a good point. I don't think I brought anyone home, but
You're like
fuck knows.
pulling Bear Grylls. You're like, gotta find out if it's mine
Yeah.
or if it's an animal's.
I just wake up and I'm pissing in his mouth. He does love a good glass of piss.
All right. 2 more questions here and then we'll move on. Would you rather have Netflix randomly pick what you watch or have 6 months of winter?
So live in Canada or watch Netflix.
But Netflix picks whatever you watch.
Yeah, randomly.
So you'd be like watching The Office, and then it would switch to like
Can I nap
the
while I'm
80s
watching
are awesome or whatever the fuck that stupid show's called.
It doesn't matter.
And am I always watching Netflix, or can I just flick it on whenever I need to?
Whenever you want. But there's some shitty stuff on Netflix.
Like you
probably,
could-
yeah, the 6 months
you
of
get
winter.
stuck
easily.
watching a fucking Bollywood fucking marathon for 16 straight days.
Is there no more winter after the 6 months of winter?
No, it's like every year, 6 months of it's...
So it's Canada.
Yeah, so live in
Yeah.
Canada or let Netflix pick what you
October to March.
Yeah, I'd rather have 6 months of winter and then choose what I'm going to watch. Because either way, you're stuck inside.
Mm-hmm.
You still get 6 months of winter. All you're saying is, would you rather have Netflix choose what you want to watch, or you choose what you want to watch?
Yeah, or sunshine all the time.
I love that Kyle's got the look like...
where does sunshine all the time
Okay,
come
well,
from?
you 6 months of winter, or the other way would be like I
You
don't know,
are
a
clutching
month or
at
two.
straws here, mate.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me just... winter.
Nighttime.
All right. So yeah, that one I guess was pretty easy.
Yeah,
I
man.
didn't make that up.
Is that all your questions?
One more. All right.
Ed the Sock or George Strombolopoulos?
You might not know this one either, but would you rather have the "Don't You Put It in Your Mouth" song on repeat, or in your head all day, or Justin Bieber's "What Do You Mean"? Do you know the "Don't You Put It in Your Mouth"?
The what do you mean? Because that other one sounds awful.
Why do you think your mommy or daddy are always telling you, don't put that in your mouth?
This was like a big commercial in Canada.
This is terrifying, by the way.
Yeah, that's
Was
the
this
one I
like-
came up with.
Was this a Canada thing?
Get
Or?
sick real quick.
Why was there an
Real
epidemic
sick.
of kids putting stuff in their mouth that was making them sick?
Tide Pods.
Are you all that stupid?
I think that's mostly like a commercial to tell kids, hey, if you're alone with your pastor,
Just kids walking around eating goose shit all day. Thought I was bad. Fucking hell. Little Timmy with his watered down craft dinner.
So which one would you rather have stuck in your head all day?
What do you mean? Definitely.
What do you mean?
I'm not gonna lie, I've had don't you put it in your mouth stuck in my head like
Yeah,
way more times than
that's
I
the thing.
care.
I've had
Different
both of
reasons.
these songs stuck in my head all day, so that's why I made this one up.
Fair.
All right, what you?
I don't know. Maybe what do you mean?
Yeah, it's a little bit better song.
I have one that Raph came up with, and it was fucking brilliant. She said, would you rather be the only one who couldn't wear clothes, so you were naked all the time, or the only one that was wearing clothes? Either way, you're a fucking weirdo.
Well, yeah, I guess it also shows like your body confidence as well.
No, it doesn't matter, because
I'd wear-
everyone else
I'd
has
wear
been naked
clothes.
since the beginning of time.
I'd wear clothes. It would be a mystery to people.
So
Like,
as,
what
as
does he
soon
look
as
like?
Yeah, as soon as
They'd
you're
be
born,
like-
you have like, I don't know, jeans and a t-shirt on.
Look
Yes.
look at this fucking guy over here, this Steve wearing his shorts.
Yeah.
Look at this
The
fucker.
thing that I thought was, because especially here in the winter, like everyone else would just be inside. The fucking country would close down. But then you'd be out doing shit and the police would just be watching you like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, we can't get out there.
Just absolutely freezing with their nipples out. We'll get them next year.
But you got to think though, if that was the case, they wouldn't sell clothes anywhere. So you'd have like one thing of clothes, or you'd have to
you
like
could
make your own.
You could make them. But
Yeah.
you were the only one that could wear them. Anyone else that wore them would just...
But you sucked at sewing.
Yeah, you were terrible.
You're just wearing fucking.
So you were walking around with these
Potato
pants that are just
sacks.
like an ass chap in the missing.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I'd also choose the clothes.
Yeah. What about you, Tor?
Well, based on that, I choose the clothes.
Yeah, right?
I'm just never comfortable being naked.
Yeah, but you wouldn't know that you
Never
weren't
nude.
comfortable being naked because everyone was always naked.
No, I just mean like even now, like even just walking around the house or sitting on the couch or anything like that, I wouldn't be comfortable being naked sitting on a couch.
I'm always naked.
Yeah,
As
like
soon-
that's the thing. I think it'd be super funny to be the only naked person, like just for the shock value.
Right.
But when you said like in the winter, you could
Yeah.
be the only one, like that changes the whole game.
The only weird thing
Well,
would be
it
when your
also-
family comes round for dinner and you're sat there
cares?
with your knob out.
But it's
But
also
that's
like,
like funny because everyone already knows.
it's
All right,
also
Dad.
like
Yeah. Hello.
it's also like you get a sunburn on your neck. You're like, okay, fine. You get a sunburn on your fucking bird, man. You're out of commission.
Well, no, you'd just be incredibly tanned all the time. You'd look amazing.
You think it would just be a tan? That's it. You don't think you'd ever get sunburnt on your dick?
Not if you lubed it up with some sunblock. Or just
Everybody's just
The
fucking
greasy-
lubing up.
Yeah,
all
greasy, shiny
day.
dick all the time, eh?
It's just like watching the Greasy Strangler all over.
it would be
again.
brilliant though, like if you were the only one wearing clothes, because you see that one guy, the first one to walk out of his house during spring, he just
You're
goes,
like, what
just
a
this one
fucking idiot.
pasty white leg comes out of a door. It's like, like a cat seeing snow for the first time.
I'd be that guy wearing
Fantastic.
like a camo sweater with like the zip off short pants.
Oh yeah.
It just comes out at summertime, just zip. They wouldn't know how fucking douchey that is either.
Also, how cool were those back in the day?
Oh yeah, they were the shit, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so that's it for the
Yeah,
game.
that's the Canadian version of Would
I'm
You
gonna get my
Rather.
drink before we start the next nib, but you guys can carry on and back.
So we are going to talk about next, if Tori's comfortable discussing this with me, the Black Dahlia Murder.
Yeah.
I sent you a text a couple weeks ago with a few things that I wanted to watch because I haven't watched that thing yet, but I've listened to the podcasts and stuff. How much have you gotten into for researching this?
Like I've listened to enough like true crime on it. But like it was never like that. Like it wasn't that I wasn't interested in it. Like I found it fascinating. Like why are you so interested in it? I was just curious.
Well, like so for the Black Dahlia, it's just like the Zodiac. It's one of the most like crazy unsolved mysteries of basically like American history.
Right.
And I think it's pretty crazy that we lived in a time that was like, it was like on the cusp of all the forensics and stuff. So it's like
Right.
literally just past the point that they probably could have solved it, but for some reason they didn't have enough there to do it.
Right.
So I find that aspect interesting. But I also found a new interest in it recently when they think that they found the guy that did it. So I don't know how much about that you know about.
Why don't you talk about what you know and then I'll try to fill in some blanks.
Okay, so are you guys at all familiar with this?
What it is. Is a Black Dahlia a flower?
Also a band.
Black Dahlia
Yeah, the Black
Murder
Dahlia.
is a band. Yeah.
So what are you familiar with?
The
Kyle?
old, like, I didn't know a lot about it before, but I've kind of just heard snippets from Tori listening the past 2 weeks. I know enough that I could tell someone about it now, but I don't know all the details. There's some interesting shit though that Tori's told me about. So, and I
Guess we'll just leave it
think,
there.
I think I know. I think I believe who did it, which I think is what most people
Who
believe
thinks-
that guy is.
I'm gonna rephrase that because that wasn't gonna make any
Case
sense.
closed.
thinks
Kyle
did it?
solved it.
Also,
We can all go home.
Patrick's just getting a little bit of a fuzzy brain right
No,
now.
I'm
going
feeling
on.
real fresh. What was it? I have no idea what it was.
Black
So it's a
Dahlia.
murder. It was in the 40s. I
Was
think
it just the one person that got killed?
Yes. And it was just like really horrific. Like the way they found her body and everything was like someone was really
What happened to
angry
it?
or really drunk knowing your stories. I'm just kidding.
I'm
But
gonna
it
pause
was
this.
bad.
I'm gonna pause this for a second. 1 sec here. Okay, we're back. I just getting a phone call, so I had to answer that.
No, he actually just had to shit really bad and ran to the bathroom.
Cats everywhere.
Patrick ate it. You're from Germany, really, though, aren't you?
Oh yeah, deep down. Deep down.
Okay, so the Black Dahlia, her real name was Elizabeth Short. So how they found her, I'll just tell you.
Allegedly.
I'll tell you the basis or the first bit of the story, and we'll just expand from there. So a woman was walking with her child in a stroller down the street in Hollywood, and she thought it was weird. There was a mannequin scattered across the front yard. And the closer she got, she started to realize it was a woman with just no blood anywhere, but she was severed in half. So she called the police. The police came. They did an autopsy on her and everything. And the police investigation basically realized or decided, like, this shit was done with surgical precision. These cuts aren't somebody who just, like, randomly hacked this girl up to dispose of the body. Like, they took their time to cut her in half and pose her on this yard.
And she was like mutilated. Like, yeah, she was cut in half wherever she was killed. Like her body was completely drained of blood. That's why she was so white and then scrubbed down after that.
And they gave her a Glasgow smile, like a Chelsea grin.
Fucking hell.
She had like a hysterectomy, they said it looked like.
Yeah,
someone
like
had done to
all
her.
kinds of shit, right? But it was all done surgically. Okay, so this is what led them to believe that it perhaps was a surgeon of sorts that did this. The only evidence that they have is she had feces in her stomach, and they found like a cement bag or something like that nearby from when the body was dumped.
They said she was kind of propped on them, but then they also said they looked like they were there to transport the body.
So the idea was that the guy or whoever had transported the body had that in the back of the car so nothing would spill on the actual car, and they just tossed the bags out with the body so that all that stuff would transfer that way.
All right.
Kind of weird, but that's all they have to go on. They have no fingerprints, no DNA, nothing like that.
Yeah, the body was like washed clean before being posed there.
Yeah, so...
Do you reckon
actually,
they washed her before cutting her open, or?
Just so weird.
Because I imagine it'd be easier to wash someone in pieces.
Right, like they drained her whole body of
Yeah,
blood,
so
so
she-
obviously she would have been pretty messy. So
She was probably cut clean first. And
Okay.
like they were the one thing we watched, it was speculated that
this is what she looked like, and then the other half is how they found her. And she's cut up, bruised, battered. Like, it looked violent.
yeah. Like
I think they suspected, too, that there was, like, rape involved because
Yeah.
of bruising and
there
stuff.
was bruising on like her arms and her
in
ankles,
the
like she was-
vaginal cavity.
Well, didn't they say that she had like a tattoo on her thigh that they had cut that off, and then they found it in her.
vagina.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff.
Like she was really brutalized.
And her nipples were cut off.
Yeah, I remember hearing that, too. So,
Jesus fucking Christ, man.
Yeah, so it's pretty fucked up, like brutal.
And also they said that
this was in the 40s, right?
right, and they said that like she was obviously tortured by what was done to her, but it was over a few days.
Yeah.
And they said the Chelsea smile was done like post-mortem, like
And they
she's still
said
alive
like
when it
you don't
happened,
like
right?
forensic and stuff weren't as good then, obviously, but they think that that's what killed her was when they cut her mouth just
Yeah.
from like
The shock
loss
and
of blood and shock. But I don't know now if that's what you would.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's tough to say without like enough DNA evidence and stuff to look back on, but there's a few theories about people that did it. So one of the theories was somebody had seen her with a guy like the night before. He's a friend of hers. There was rumors that they were hooking up and whatever. They did a background check on him. He did some suspect things, but he's fine. Like they ruled him out. There's another guy that they suspected, but I think he was like a construction worker or something, and he had said that he got like blackout drunk or something, and he doesn't remember. But they had found out that he was actually working out of town the time that she would have been dying, so there's no chance this guy could have done it.
All right.
So those are the two main suspects.
Yeah, that guy, like, he admitted to doing it, or
He was
said
an army guy, and he said
basically
he was
like,
drunk, and he said he had, like, he thought maybe in his stupor it could have happened.
Yeah.
right.
But he was back
He
on the
wasn't
base.
denying it, but he didn't know. Like, he just didn't remember
Right.
anything.
Yeah.
So, lastly, there's a man named George Hodel. There's a podcast I've been listening to that dives into this. It's actually done by George Hodel's great-granddaughters. I sent you the link, Tori. I don't know if you listened to that
did.
at all. Did you listen to all of it? Mm-hmm. It's called Root of Evil. Mm-hmm. And if you want to listen to that, you can listen to that. I think there's like 8 episodes or something. But it goes in depth into the background of this George Hodel guy and his family. So
And that's the one that they're making a TV series
They already
about,
did,
right?
but yeah.
So George Hodel, I guess, will be the main topic of discussion for this podcast, whether we think he did it or somebody else, right? So you and me, based off of this podcast, I feel like we have a decent amount of information to talk about this guy. George Hodel, Patrick, first of all, was a surgeon.
Yep.
He also was known for doing like black market abortions for women. So there's a chance.
He was
a venereal doctor, too. That
yeah.
was what he was known for, especially at the time.
and he was rumored to do like doctor stuff for like famous or rich people in LA, wasn't he?
So
So he had lots of ins with people and lots of.
So anybody who got pregnant, so like let's
Blackmail,
say a politician got a woman pregnant that he cheated on his wife with, he'd take that woman to George Hodel, and George Hodel would do the abortion off the books so that there's no record that this woman was pregnant.
This is alleged stuff.
There's
but
no way that this murder was potentially his first attempt at an abortion, and then he thought, actually, that's probably not how you do an abortion.
No, this gets way crazier
there's
than you'll fucking imagine.
This guy, the amount of stuff about him really makes you think he could have been the guy who did it.
He's dead now, though, right? He died in 1999.
99.
Mm-hmm.
So George Hodel was in like the art crowd and stuff in LA too, and the police had suspected him. Nobody really knew this until recently because they had to like petition an information thing. The guy who's investigating it now is named Steve Hodel, which is George Hodel's son.
Right.
Because his son is almost positive that his dad killed the Black Dahlia. Okay, so this guy, he's a police officer now. He was researching into his father's past, and there's things like weird things like George Hodel used to hang out with these artists that were known for having sex with underage like people. And I think George had like 6 kids, and he would basically sell his kids to whoever came over. Was like, okay, give me like $25, I'll let you have them for an hour.
$25.
This dude was a fucking monster.
Yeah, but I mean that was back in
I guess
in the 40s,
50s, right?
Oh fucking hell, that's quite expensive.
And even
I don't
worse,
know how much it costs for kids.
He would have politicians and artists over. They would start having orgies, and he would be like, "Hey, daughter, I know you're like 13, but get in on this." And he'd start having sex with his daughter in the middle of this orgy with all these people. And it's like this weird underground thing, right? So
there was one other person that was a suspect though, but
there's way more people.
Yeah, but it never came to be. It was we just listened to this. It was for the 50th anniversary of the death of the Black Dahlia. There was some, there was like the last living policeman that was like part of the investigation. He went on. I think they said it was like a TV series or a documentary, and he said the person he suspected did it. It was because there was a car that was reported near the area when this happened.
But they kind of ruled him out because he didn't really have any surgical experience. But what they kind of said with that was he might have been the guy that introduced Elizabeth to George Hodel.
Right.
Just to not get too off topic.
Yeah. This person, the way he was descripted and whatever, this cop believed he did it, but they had absolutely zero evidence to go after this guy. But this cop says he believes this is the guy who did it. That's what I heard on.
Well, they said that he actually, like, what they were kind of trying to say with that was there's like a hotel, the thing that we had watched, and there's a guy just kind of looking into it. Kind of, he didn't really have lots of like things to test and stuff. They went to this hotel room, and that's where the guy Kyle's talking about. He was kind of a known pimp. And so
no, this is a different one. This is from
there's
BuzzFeed
a lot. Okay, but there's
this morning.
There's a lot of theories about people that could have done it, right?
Right.
But nothing ties them to it except maybe they were in the area at the time.
The only other one, Kenny, I was going to tell you because I was actually interested in what you thought, because this one I just kind of came across, and they didn't think about it till like later on. But his name was Walter Bailey. Did you read about him at all?
The name sounds familiar.
Okay, so he lived like 2 blocks from where they found her body. And so the reason why he became afterwards more of a suspect was he started doing really like odd, like he had really odd behaviors and stuff. And like, and then he had died in 1948, like not too long after. And they realized that autopsy had like a brain disease that was eating his brain. And he was like a skilled doctor and surgeon. Yeah, he lived a couple of blocks away, and he had a son that died in automobile accident, like years before, and he had died on January 13th, his son, years before.
Right.
And people's kind of theory was that he was doing it to, like, she was found on January 15th, like, to avenge his son's death. But then, and also he had a mistress that got his entire beneficiary, like, of his life insurance or
Right.
whatever, because she knew a terrible secret, and that was what she wanted.
I mean, I've heard that. I don't. After listening to everything about George Hodel, I'm 95% sure personally that he did it. Just because, okay, so he's a surgeon.
He's the easiest suspect.
Okay, no,
sure.
he's a surgeon, right? He was known for his sex parties and stuff. He also had friends in the art scene. There's one particular, if you listen to the Root of Evil podcast, they go through a bunch of different things that line it up. George Hodel's, one of his best friends was a surrealist artist who took pictures. And one of that guy's pictures was a woman's body severed in half at the exact same spot that the Black Dahlia was found. Missing a head, though. That's the only thing that was different. And it's a picture, almost like somebody took that picture. And George Hodel loved it. And the cops suspected him, that we later found out. And they put bugs in his house. And they have recordings of him talking about how beautiful the severed body looks and stuff like that. Like, they have this guy's basically admitting everything, but there's more things to this guy, though. George Hodel, a couple years before the Black Dahlia was found dead, also went to trial, I believe, for murdering his secretary.
He didn't go to trial for it, but he was a suspect for it.
Right, and they acquitted it because there's theories that he had people on the inside of the police force and the judges and stuff that were also involved in the weird sex, grimy stuff that he's involved with. So, like, let's say a lawyer brought his mistress to George Hodel to get a fucking abortion. They don't want that getting out, so they're going to pull a favor for that guy, right?
At this time, like in the 1940s, the police department and like the judge department, like, you know, whatever,
everything
trial
was
department was very corrupt.
I don't think
In LA.
anything from a certain date going backwards will ever really be solved at all.
See, that's where
Right, yeah.
I have, like, that's where I, like, it is fascinating. It's just, like, there's no way to figure out who did it, because
There's not enough evidence.
But there's
No,
always
either
people,
way.
There's always people that are going to keep trying to solve it because someone, like, people want stuff
Well, it's
to get solved,
interesting.
right? And
But-
it's interesting.
So it's from the 1940s, right? And this guy was high profile.
There was also like tons of the evidence is lost and destroyed from this.
Yeah,
Only
and
his
destroyed,
evidence.
but it's most likely was just removed.
right, of
Because
course.
But-
he was such a high profile person. And back in the day, if, you know, someone decided to fully investigate this chap, that would have probably fucked their career going
Of course.
forwards.
But here's the thing, too, is they did destroy a lot of evidence, a lot of these cops and stuff that knew him. But one of the cops got copies of everything and put it in an FBI vault instead of the police department. So they have all of these records that they can look back on to go through and find all this stuff, right?
One of the weird things to me was we were watching a thing that they were talking about. There was letters sent to the police departments from the quote Black Dahlia Avenger, and all of the letters were from like cut out
Newspapers.
newspaper clippings instead of handwriting, right? And they found a fingerprint on one of them. And I said to Tori, I was like, why don't they, like, I'm sure they have pictures of that fingerprint that they can try and match now. Because they did get a fingerprint, they ran it through all the databases and had no matches for it. I mean, I'm sure the person that did this murder is probably dead by now, but
well, that's the thing. Even
they
if,
could
even
be
if
in the
they'd-
system.
Even if they'd convicted this person, they would have either been sentenced to death or life in prison.
Yeah.
Well,
And that's done.
So the biggest issue, though, is because George Hodel became a suspect, they started putting him under a microscope, and they started finding a lot of things to where the documentary podcast left off was that they suspect that he was involved with killing anywhere between one, which was his secretary, which they're almost positive he did because he basically admitted it. They have that on tape. The cops, when they bugged his house, he would never fully say.
All it said was something like, even if.
It's essentially OJ saying, if I did it.
Well, he said, even if, or they can't prove that I killed the Black Dahlia now because my secretary's dead.
Yeah. Which is like something you wouldn't want to say.
But there's like
I
weird.
feel like if it had happened nowadays, he would have been convicted. Even
Right.
if there was half the evidence that they found against him back then.
Right.
Because it's.
Well, at
nowadays
least come to press
they
charges or something.
have to get a conviction. Otherwise, the people are just going to be fucking outraged.
Right.
And there's just an unbelievable amount of pressure on police departments nowadays. But I think that probably hinders it, if anything, because they just rush through it.
Right.
They rush through it. They try and get a conviction, and you could just be in the wrong place at the wrong time, and just so happen to have the weirder interests.
This George Hodel, he's done a lot of things, like questionable things, reported.
No
in
doubt,
his life.
yeah.
So
I mean, he probably was involved in a lot of this underground, murky sort of shit that was happening back then, but he might not have done it.
Well,
They may have just uncovered a ridiculous amount of shady activity that a lot of high-profile people were involved in.
Right, but there's more shit that ties it together. Like, for years, people were denying that he had any relation to it. They couldn't tie it together. But acquaintances were coming out and saying they had actually introduced Elizabeth Short to him at one of these, like, mixers that all these bigwigs were at and whatever. So there's your link right there.
Who was she?
She was an aspiring actress who apparently was maybe a little bit promiscuous, more promiscuous than most women would
she was
approved of.
She was
back
pretty
then.
well known. Like she was given the name the Black Dahlia because of a book, the
movie that had come out around that time called
Blue
The Blue Dahlia.
But she was like known for like jet black dyed hair and wearing a lot of black clothing and stuff. So she was
a really attractive girl. She
Yeah.
like just at the time, like she was single.
Yeah.
She went out a lot, but like back, people went to dances all the time and
Yeah.
things. Then right, you can really sit inside and watch Netflix. But she was she wasn't known for being with a lot of men, but she knew a lot of men. But like
Yeah.
what it goes back
there
to
was
is that
rumors, because then there's also the rumors
Right.
of the, like Kyle was mentioning, a quote unquote potential pimp and all that stuff. Like there's
right.
rumors.
But then when they went back and like checked that, she was never like there's no record of her ever with anything with prostitution. Like, and then even with her address book, she had over like 75 guys' numbers in there. They called almost all of them, and they said like we went out for dinner once, but nothing went even further. Not a kiss, nothing kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't even have 75 numbers for guys.
but
Jesus.
yeah, so
She was definitely social.
So other stuff that like is weird about this guy though is his daughter took him and some of his friends to trial because of one of those orgies that the father forced her to take part in. George Hodel had actually knocked his daughter Tamar up. She was 13 at the time. And I think he tried to do his own abortion thing, but she I think stepmom or girlfriend at the time thought that it was too fucked up and kind of pushed her to like talk to the police about it. So they went to trial for it, and he got acquitted for that too, because the way that she did it is she said, my dad's friends would come over. They'd all put on robes. They'd do this fucked up thing where they'd get like Satanist symbols and stuff around. They'd drug the kids, and then they'd have orgies or whatever. So then when this girl was testifying, she said, okay, he was here with this judge, this police officer, this person, all these high profile people. They were all wearing robes. They had these weird symbols and masks that they were wearing, and they all took turns having sex with me and two other people, whatever. And this stuff happened. When you say that in court, especially back then, you're like, that's made up. There's no chance that there's like a Satanist cult that's...
Yeah, I guess.
Right?
Especially with all the high-profile people. There's probably fucking one of them in the room just being like, nah.
Right. So the thing is they were like, there's not a chance this is real, and they let George Hodel off.
See, and I read into that a little bit differently. Like, when they went to, like, explain that out more so, she was in, obviously, a terrible situation with her father, and there's other people there. But there was one lady who was also there that he said that he made his daughter partake in activities. And that lady had made a statement, came forward, said,
Then
yeah, this
recanted.
happened, and then recanted. And she was scared, and they arrested her for
perjury.
Yeah, and then same thing with
And
the
then on
jury
her
members.
deathbed, she retracted that recanting, though.
Right, and then several jury members also, like, they found that he had contact with them, and he paid them a certain amount so that they would.
Right. So
let
what
her
the one
off.
woman did who came forward was like,
Because I don't
gave
think
her
it was as
statements.
unbelievable.
They gave her statement, basically like she was supposed to remain anonymous. It came out in court who she was. Then she retracted her statement. They were like, that's perjury. We're going to charge you for that. And then she was like, okay, I'll take the perjury charge. I don't know what I'm talking about. And then they talked to her years later and were like, well, why did you do that if that was true? And she was like, she basically said something similar to, well, if he's the person who did that to the Black Dahlia, what would stop him from doing that to me? Right? So now they're looking at all these like rich Hollywood starlets, wannabe starlets around that time that went missing, that are around that age group, and they're starting to piece together like who was involved with these people around this time, who is rumored to have gotten with this person, and they're estimating anywhere between 1 and 50 victims that George Hodel had of like either botched abortions that just didn't work and they had to get rid of the bodies, or like whatever else. But there's up to 50 people they're saying now that he could have done. So the thing with the Black Dahlia thing too, when they questioned him about it, whatever, and he got let off for that, if you're not guilty, you're going to just hang out and just like keep living your life. This guy fucked off to the Philippines. He left his 6 kids, or 3 kids, whatever, how many kids he had, and
11.
their grandkids.
He had 11.
He left
from
all
5
of them
different
there.
Women.
They were all like doing incest stuff because that's how they were raised. So all their kids are fucked up. Everybody's fucked up. He just left that family behind, moved to the Philippines, started a new family, and he like grew up telling these kids like.
And in the Philippines,
creepy
when he was
stories.
living there was lots of suspicious, like murders and stuff that were loosely connected to him.
This I can't back up because I don't know much
On
about
the one
Philippines
that one
stuff,
thing we
but
watched,
Uh-huh.
there was something. I think it was actually BuzzFeed that talked about it. That when he was there,
The most reliable of the news sources.
So it's not
BuzzFeed Unsolved.
I think my
Yeah.
arse has popped out more facts than BuzzFeed.
But it was something like there was a body found by the river, and it was like close to his
Oh, right.
his place.
Yeah,
And-
so if I don't know like what else we can really say about this except for that the Black Dahlia happened, it's unsolved. I think George Hodel did it personally.
Based on everything people have said, I'd probably agree.
I
But
would say
because of his status back then.
right. I would
I
say
mean, back then status was way higher than fucking law.
well, like this is me
Right.
trying to summarize it up too.
Yeah.
If you listen to this, because the investigation's done by his son, and then his granddaughters are the ones that interview him about it, and all the family members about all the fucked up shit that happened back then. So there's an 8-episode, I think, series called The Root of Evil on like podcasts. Go listen to that.
There's a lot of like fucked up things about this guy's past that are like coincidences, but it's like
Is it,
way
though?
too crazy to be just coincidences.
So yeah, I would definitely recommend checking that out if you're interested in it, because I know this stuff is kind of up your alley.
Yeah.
And it's like it's I was listening to it the one day at work, and I had my headphones on, and they were getting so graphic on the one episode I had to turn it off because like I could feel the blood draining from my face. And my coworkers were like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yep, yeah, I'm just not feeling great." But it's just stuff is so fucking disturbing and fucked up about this guy and his family and the stuff that he did, and like how they can relate it back to the Black Dahlia, that I'm just like I think everybody needs to hear this story. Even if you don't think he did it, it's worth educating yourself from that perspective.
Fair.
There's another one, Kenny, too. You should, I don't know if you already listened to it, but it's the Hollywood and Crime podcast. Did you listen to it at all?
I started listening to the Black Dahlia one yesterday just to refresh myself, but I think it's like an actual written series, right?
It is. I think you'd really like it. It kind of goes from all these murders that happened at right around that same exact time.
In Hollywood, right?
Yeah, and they think that George Hodel or whoever, like they were all related. And because they were all girls around the same age, same kind of hair, and like they all were dying. And like, yeah, there's a lipstick murder. I don't know if you heard of that because it's so tied with the Black Dahlia.
Yeah,
but that one too. It's bizarro.
Yeah, I don't want to like get everything super dark, but I just really wanted to talk about this case in particular, just because it's unsolved, and the break that they had with George Hodel in the past year, I think is.
It's been going on forever
crazy.
too, because Steve Hodel has written so many books about his dad.
Yeah, and the biggest
for
thing
years
too
and years now
is this guy he was trying to find information on George Hodel to see if police were investigating him for it. He couldn't find anything because the police files were gone.
Yeah.
And then randomly an FBI guy was like, "Oh, we got a box downstairs. You can take a look." And he goes and takes a look, and there's like pictures of George Hodel that fell out that were like, "This is our number one prime suspect. We have his shit bugged." There's transcripts of all his phone conversations he had and shit, and like, it's messed up, man. The stuff that this dude found, like 70 years later on this fucking dude, and like that the cops had the information and did nothing about it, and that's extra suspect to me.
It's weird that this is such a popular thing considering it was just the one murder.
So it's just because it was unsolved and so brutal and like precise,
I guess
that it was like shocking. Like it was literally just somebody dumping a body cut in half in the middle of suburbia.
Yeah.
So like in Dundonald in Saskatoon here, if somebody just had a severed body in the middle of the thing, you'd be like, what the fuck? It's not like a body in 20th Street that just got stabbed, right? It's something that's like vicious and just done.
Dumped and posed in a, like abandoned, or not an abandoned lot, but like an like a lot without property on it. It's just, yeah, it's just crazy. If you were walking and saw something like that.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up, but yeah, I think we'll wrap this one up. That's it for this week's episode. Thanks for coming, Tori. Maybe you'll be on for next week's episode too.
Maybe.
Do you guys got anything else you want to throw in here, or you're good to wrap it up?
I'm all right. I just don't know why we keep thinking that everyone that listens is that stupid to know that we don't just record another episode immediately after we do this one.
Yeah,
they're not morons. They know.
We like to make backup episodes.
I'm going to sound just as tipsy. Either I'm an alcoholic or it's immediately after we just did.
I might change my shirt though for the next episode. You guys might see
good
that.
idea. Yeah.
Can I wear that one?
Yeah, let's trade. I don't know if I'd fit that. That looks actually, you're a little bigger than me, and probably not in a fat joke. I mean, you're built.
Yeah, you're a fat shit, Patrick. You wouldn't fit into my clothes.
I just want to throw out there real quick, if you're confused about the topic for this episode and why we didn't talk about the Nazis and stuff, it's because our movie that would be related to the topic is getting pushed back a week, because this week we're actually watching The Descent. So this Friday, after you've heard this, if you're listening in order, we'll be watching The Descent. So yeah, next week we'll be talking about some Nazi experiments and stuff like that. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. And Tori, you want to sign us off on this one?
Bye-bye.
Nailed it. That'll do.
Yeah, fuck Judge Reinhold too.
Fuck. God damn.